Well, hello, welcome back to A Tale 3 Cabins. It's been kind of a rough week for us. I don't know if you're familiar with our pole barn project, but it started back in October and we're nowhere close to getting it started building. My problem has been with the zoning board, and I got a variance to build the pole barn. The problem was that they said you couldn't build anything in front of your house. I got very little room behind my house, so I got that approved. But in the approval process, they brought up this place, which is our garden shed, accessory building, agricultural building, I don't know what you want to call it, but they wanted me to get a variance for this also. And I applied for the paperwork. They were also holding my other permit hostage until this was taken care of. So I had the zoning board meeting last week and they voted it down 3-2. And essentially they want me to tear this down before I can put up my pole barn. So this has been very unsettling for us. Needless to say, we have an attorney and we're going to go through a process and hopefully we can get things remedied here. I'm hoping at least we can get the pole barn situated because materials for that are going to be delivered next week. I couldn't hold them off any longer. The prices of them are going to start going up. So I don't want to have those materials sitting there. And if we did have to tear this place down or do something with it, I have no place to put anything. And the pole barn would be a great place to put that temporarily. So it's a big can of worms right now, very frustrating, and hopefully we can get that remedied. So another thing that they hit me with at this zoning board meeting was they kind of blindsided me with this letter from the fire department saying that my driveway was too long and that every 200 feet of driveway that I need a pull off for fire trucks. So they gave me an ordinance. I called the fire department because it wasn't clear like what a pull off is. Is it gravel? Does it have to be concrete? What does it have to be made out of? And I had the guy come out and they were very nice. The gentleman was a fire inspector and he was very helpful in information, and it seemed like what they were asking for was doable. So today we're going to make that pull off. We decided we're going to start from this big tree here, and we're going to have to go 50 feet in front of it and 10 feet wide. And we're going to brush hog this whole area out and clean it up and put some gravel in. So stick around, come check that out. And that's one step, hopefully getting closer to a pole barn, but we still have a lot more to go. So to start this project, I'm going to start using the tooth bar and the brush hog. As I start clearing out this brush, I start losing traction. going pretty well. I've only hit a couple good chunks of wood, and I found a little paver brick in there. Other than that, it's fairly flat. When you uncover all this brush though, like I said, it does get a little slippery. So I'm gonna have to work on that a little bit. Hopefully it's just because the constant shade from the brush, and this will dry out a little bit better now that it's open. Rather than me taking off the brush hog, then having to take off the quick hitch, putting on my rake, it'd be easier just to use the teeth on the bucket now, just to rake things up a little bit. Just going to make sure that our measurements are correct, that we're not going too small. It's been kind of warm lately and pretty humid, temps close to the 90s. We're going to let this dry out even though we are dancing around some thunderstorms, and pick it up next day here and start putting down some recycled road gravel. It's fortunate to have these materials on hand. I didn't have to order anything. They've been sitting here for a while. They were going to be used for the pole barn once we had the structure up, to kind of reflatten things out and prepare for maybe a concrete base. But it's here and I'm going to use it. I'm not sure where they're going to deliver stuff when the stuff for the pole barn comes, so it would kind of create some more room if I need it. And I would recommend always having a pile of gravel sitting around if you have the room. It just comes in handy in a pinch. Years ago, we had a good gully washer come through, and it flooded out by our bridge area and took out about 4 feet of the driveway where we couldn't drive over it. And we needed gravel in a hurry, and we didn't have anything, and I didn't have the tractor at the time either. Luckily the neighbor had his Kubota tractor, and I was out of town, but he gave my wife some assistance. We borrowed some gravel from a neighbor that had some out front by his driveway, and it worked out good for us. But so it's always good to have a little bit hanging around somewhere. This stuff is fairly cheap. They call it 504 in our area, and it makes a nice base when you're putting something in like this, or if you're going to be doing a driveway or putting down a pad. It works really good. It packs nice, and it's inexpensive. It's somewhere between $10 and $15 a ton when you're looking for it. At least in our area it is. So it's pretty economical. Just double checking. Our measurements are pretty good though. We're a little over 50 feet. It's around 52, 53 feet and a little over 10 feet wide. I'm going to take the gas tamper and tamper it down nicely. It's going to actually help in some of the soft spots, and then top it off with a little bit of 57 gravel. You notice I took off the brush hog and I got the box plate on there just for a little bit of ballast in the back. Also gives me a little bit more room for maneuverability compared to having a brush hog on there. Well, if you haven't already, this would be a good time to subscribe. I appreciate everybody watching these videos. Hope you enjoy them. We're going to send some pictures of the fire department. There's one other thing that we discussed with them that wasn't really necessary, but I'm going to take care of that next week. All in all, this was a nice little summer project, dodging the raindrops. It wasn't too labor intensive. I had the materials on hand, so it wasn't too bad. It came out fairly nice. Occasionally, once in a while, I'll have a chance to use this, especially when it comes to, moving my trailer around and just having some space if I need temporarily to move things in and out of the way of different areas of the property. So thanks for watching, and keep an eye on us. Take care, everybody.